This nugget is about the digestive system. In this nugget, we're going to have a look at the organs that are involved in digestion and understand the role of the digestive system for the body. The key words we'll use are digestion, mouth, tongue, saliva, esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, blood, rectum, feces, and anus. So what is digestion? What do you think happens to your food after you've swallowed it? Digestion is the process of breaking down food into simpler or smaller substances. These smaller substances can be absorbed into the blood of the body, and then they can travel around the body and be used for growth, repair, and energy. You need to be able to name the different parts of the digestive system that break down your food. Food first enters the body through the mouth. It then travels down the esophagus, also known as the gullet, into the stomach. After they've reached the stomach, they will travel through the small tubes of the small intestines before passing through the large intestines, which are on the outside of the small intestines. Any undigested food will be held in the rectum before being passed through the anus when you go to the toilet. Stages of digestion. Digestion occurs in a series of stages as the food moves through the different body parts. Digestion begins in the mouth. Food entering the mouth will meet both the teeth and the tongue. The teeth and tongue work together to chop up the food and mixing it with saliva. Saliva is a sticky liquid that contains chemicals that start to break down the food in your mouth. The chewed up food is then swallowed and travels down your esophagus, or gullet, to the next stage of digestion in the stomach. So we said the next stage of digestion is that your food will enter the stomach. In the stomach, it is mixed with acid. The acid kills any germs. After around 4 hours of being churned around inside the stomach, the food will leave and enter the small intestines. The small intestines are the smaller tubes surrounded by a larger tube, which is the large intestines. Inside the small intestines, the food has now been broken down into small nutrients, and the nutrients will pass through the walls of the intestines into the blood. The blood can then carry the nutrients around the rest of the body. After the small intestines, any leftover food that hasn't been absorbed will pass through the large intestines. This is where any water from the food will be absorbed into the blood. So we've now absorbed both the nutrients and the water from the food. But there is still some food left passing through the large intestines. So any undigested food now is going to pass through the large intestines all the way through to the rectum. Your undigested food is now known as feces or poo. This feces will then leave the body when the person goes to the toilet, passing through the anus. Summary. We now know that digestion is the process of breaking down and absorbing food by the body. Food enters the body through the mouth, and nutrients are absorbed into the small intestine, with water being absorbed in the large intestine, and any undigested food is stored in the rectum before being released by the anus. The key words we used were all the different parts of the digestive system, so the tongue, the mouth, the esophagus, the stomach, the large intestine, small intestine, blood, rectum. Digestion, we now know, is the process of breaking down food and absorbing it by the body. Saliva is the sticky liquid in your mouth that contains chemicals to break down the food. And the feces is the undigested food that gets passed out of your body as waste.